Hello. Thank you for taking a few moments out of your precious day to let me share a few ideas around creating wellness, around living our best life, around having joy and more energy, and just living well. I'm aware, as you're aware, that we've gone through a lot in the last few years with the world basically being flipped on its head. And then, the aftermath is still sort of coming in different waves. And for many people, it's caused them to live in chronic fear and chronic negativity and a lot of doom and gloom. And what I want to share with you is that's really a response to feeling violated. It's a grief and trauma response. We've had things change. And one of the books that I really love, it's called The Four Agreements. And he talks about three different levels of living our life from. One is a victim, one is a warrior, and one is a master. When we're in a victim place, we have no idea that the suffering that we are experiencing is coming from our own thoughts and the lens that we're looking through, the way that we're looking at other people, the way that we're looking at situations. It's part of the shadow of each human has a dark side and a light side, and that victim is what creates the suffering, looking at things we can't change, blaming other people for our lives, and not learning to take responsibility for what brings our heart joy. The aspect of the victim is suffering, it's addiction, it's poison, basically. Gossip's involved, talking about other people, character assassinating people, and also then character assassinating ourselves, criticizing ourselves. We create a pattern of being, poor me, this life just sucks. And when we share that with ourselves and other people, we're actually hurting ourselves and we're destroying this very precious day that we have. And it's all that we have. Like if you start to really look at life, it's this is it, today, now, here. And then the other aspect of personal development is the warrior, which is learning to observe, oh, my mind's sharing this thought with me. Is it true? And really putting it through the litmus test. Is what my mind telling me true? Can I be 100% certain? And if you do that when your mind says, oh, so-and-so is mad at you, or such and such is going to happen, or, whatever catastrophe your mind wants to say, and if you actually investigate it, they say, when in doubt, check it out and discover that you're wrong. Wow. And that gives you some freedom, a freedom from yourself, a freedom from the shadow, the part of the mind that creates suffering. That part is actually, in the Toltec wisdom, it's called mitote. It's the parasite. It's the part of the psyche that everyone has that gets off on suffering because it believes that's all that there is here. And that's not true. The next part of the development of one's wellness, we'll say, is being a witness, being a master, being able to notice, oh, my mind is spinning around and it's saying all this stuff, and just to sit back like an observer, they say, like the mother watching the child. In yoga, they also talk about when you watch your body, some mother watching a child without attachment, without aggression, just noticing, oh, maybe I can move that foot this way, maybe I can do this way. So that part of the psyche that's the master watches and knows that you are more than your thoughts, you are more than your mind, you are more than your stuff. From that position, a person can actually come at their life from a place of being an artist that brings a song to this world. And the song that we need to bring originally is to ourselves. I believe in you. You believe in you. When you look at someone who's hurting and they're scared, and you just look at them and imagine, oh, if I was them, what would I need to hear? And sometimes we just sit with them and say, I'm here for you. So the master that's within all of us is divinity. It's wisdom. You can't buy it. You either create that garden within yourself and remove the weeds of fear, the weeds of I can't do this, this is too hard, and just say, I wonder what you need to actually let yourself succeed. I was chuckling this morning while I was thinking about what am I going to say today, because I don't script this. I just say it. And I remember, one of my teachers, he was a 9th Dan black belt from Okinawa, Japan, and he was just a beautiful man. And, he said, when you're angry at someone, they're controlling you. They're literally renting space in your head and consuming your vitality, versus just notice, I've got some feelings about that. Talk about it, unpack it, let it go. And then remember to replace that pain that you've unloaded with something that represents love, with something that represents harmony again. We are multifaceted, and wellness is harmonizing the body, the mind, and the spirit. With those pieces in mind, we go, how am I feeling? How's my body doing? Am I emotionally impoverished, or am I emotionally nourished? And our nourishment can't come from outside of ourselves, because you're chasing. It can't come. It needs to come from our relationship with ourselves, not from what our paycheck gives us, or, this glorious feeling of accomplishment of, doing something. It's good to do something. It ultimately comes from how we speak to ourselves, how we think about ourselves. And then from that place, that's what we share with others. When you take care of you, that's your contribution to world peace. You can't give to somebody what you haven't given to yourself. When I take care of me and do my meditation and my journaling and my gratitude, that's my contribution to world peace, because I'm not trying to get this need for acceptance and validation met through these other people. I'm like, I'm okay. And if you're okay, awesome. And if you're not okay, do you know what you need to come back to feeling secure again? So I'm just hoping that there's one thing that you might get out of this that might go, I can do a deposit in my wellness account. One of the books that I really love is The 4 Agreements, and then The 5th Agreement. I read those sometimes 3 and 4 times a year, because it reminds me to be impeccable with my word, to hold myself to a higher standard, of honoring myself, treating myself with respect. That's a big deal. If I treat myself with respect, I am not living in victim. I am living in a place of awareness, of a warrior. I'm treating myself with dignity and respect. That's a big deal. And then to not make assumptions about other people, not to assume what my mind's telling me is true, because 97% of what my mind says is utter bullshit. To not take anything personally. If someone rejects me or accepts me, it's not about me, it's their stuff, it's where they're at. But the parasite likes to keep us sick. So it'll go, you did something wrong, you're not smart enough, you're not this. And those are the lies that make us sick. And the 4th agreement is always do your best. It doesn't have to be excellent, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you did your personal best in any situation, that's huge. So I really would love to, if you have feedback, any thoughts that you want to share, wonderful. Remember that what you do with your life is your contribution to world peace. What you do with your heart, this is the true wealth right down here. It's not this thing, this deep inside, and taking the time to go inside. What do you need today to feel secure? What do you need today to feel nourished? And then act on that. It can be one thing each day. Today I started cleaning out my closet and started to move out the things in my closet that I won't wear, that clutter my closet, that make it unpleasant to look at it. It's a visual nag. One thing each day. It can be little, it can be big. And remember, no matter what happens in your life matters, you count, you're lovable, you're worth standing up for. And people like me have been in some of the most painful places, and I've managed through some, series of events to crawl out of the sewer, to wash myself off, and to reclaim myself. After this last 2 years, we all need those skills. We need to be good at it, and we also need to support others to say, hey, I got you. So I hope that you enjoyed something here. It's my contribution to give the nuggets that I've been given from my teachers, and many of them are dead, but they speak through me. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.